Me, me.
Does that mean we're live yet?
I think we're live now.
Are we? What's up, everybody? Hope we're live. Welcome to episode 47 of Figure Banging.
There we go.
Now it shows up on my thing.
Yeah, mine's delayed too.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 47 of Figure Banging. Got this mostly packed house tonight, except for the occasional one. But we knew that was going to happen. So thanks for joining us. Join us tonight. My thing is always all messed up, but I know Brian is first because he's a double B. What up, Brian?
What's up, people? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. How are you guys doing?
Not for everybody. It is my Monday.
I hope you guys got your fill of stasis lock and you're here to just decompress with some good old figure banging.
we get stasis lock sloppy seconds.
That's right.
All right, I don't know. My thing is all messed up, my order, so we'll go with whatever I see. Also joining us tonight, we have special guest, Mr. JD.
Hi, everybody. Kind of sounded like
Dr. Nick.
Lux.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Hi there. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
It's totally.
Breaking news.
Mm-hmm.
Also joining us tonight, we have the Hangout ambassador, Mr. Jose.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm just here chilling, drinking some Pepsi.
Ugh!
You know, Jose.
I don't have a kick button. Somebody kick him.
Jose, man, I'm with you. I don't think Pepsi's bad. Pepsi's fine. The only thing, it doesn't go with rum very well.
Pepsi doesn't go with anything.
Yeah, rum and Coke all the way. But I prefer Pepsi as my soda. You know?
Ugh. Yeah.
I'm not a Coke hater. I'll drink a Coke, you know what I'm saying? But I grew up drinking Pepsi. I'm sorry, Sue.
I don't know how you can be in New York and drink fucking Pepsi. You're a disgrace.
Yeah, like all good things from North Carolina.
Also joining us tonight, late edition, Mr. Internet Personality, Justin L.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I got an invite and then I popped in. No warning.
That's the way we roll.
Yep.
And semi joining us tonight, Mr. Dust Mites. Who's not going to say anything. Yeah, he's thrilled.
I'm cameraman this evening.
All right.
Producer, director.
Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1. So tonight we got. Last time we did B. This time we're doing
nice.
MPM-4 movie Optimus.
Wow.
You got the effect us. Pew, 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 pew.
All right, so right off the bat, I'm just going to take these accessories off just because they store if you want like that. It's ridiculous, but it's a thing you can do.
Hey, right off the bat, what's with the numbering? Why is it 4?
I'm assuming they're counting that Starscream and the other Bumblebee.
Okay.
That were just the leader toys that were repainted.
Gotcha.
I'm assuming they're just counting those as 1 and 2. Could be wrong, I don't know, but because technically those were Masterpiece figures.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right, Ace. That they are considered from that number.
That'd be my guess.
Do they even scale with this stuff?
No, they're the leader toys from the movie, just painted. So I never bothered with those. But so real quick, his accessories. We'll show them off when they can tab on to the sides there if you want to store them. It's his arm blades and his gun. The gun could have used more paint. It's just a piece of gray plastic, and there's some like blast effect, I guess, like residue on the tip. Other than that, it's just gray plastic.
You got residue on the tip.
It's fine. I don't really like his movie gun, but it's just just the tip.
Does it?
Like it just put in the stink and. Boop.
Does it auto murph or change into anything? Or
nope, that's it. It is what it is. So that's really one of the only lame things about this. And then the blades are clear yellow plastic with whatever the hell engraving that is, the Cybertronian engraving, and they tab on in his hand. We'll show that off later. But So here he is. So first of all, I know people are going to cry. It's just not right. So this is as tight as I can get it. I know MGO has put a fix on how to transform it properly. I wrangled with it for like 20 minutes, and I couldn't get it any better than that. And I said, "Fuck it, I don't care," and I stopped. But
did you
it's
watch?
good enough.
Did you watch his review or his video on full volume? Because I watched that thing a couple weeks ago. Man, he was angry.
No, why would you? Yes, no, he does. Yeah, no, that's not smart. That's not a
What the
smart
hell he
move.
was so pissed off about? God.
He's just pissed about everything. So he rolls okay. If you notice, all the wheels don't really touch. We'll get into it, but it's kind of smushy, so it's not as solid as it should be. So it kind of doesn't roll super fantastic, but it rolls fine. It rolls okay. It's technically his movie 1 deco, but I don't think there was any real changes from the first 3 movies. So you can say it's, the first 3 movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
So just a real quick.
Are the smokestacks supposed to they pull out or?
Yeah, they shrink down for a robot move.
That's as
So
tall.
just to give you an idea, yeah, it's as high as they go. Just to give you an idea, here he is with the Revenge of the Fallen. So bumper to bumper, all the way back, you can see this guy. This guy is a lot larger, but you can see what they actually did with the mold. Well, not the mold; it's a completely different mold. But you can see where the differences are. Like this is all red. This is red plastic, with some paint on it. Whereas this is pretty much completely painted. This is all base plastic, but then this is all. You can see like the flame. The flames are a lot nicer. It's just an overall nicer paint job. Like this is gray plastic. This is paint. The grill is chrome on here, and it's plain gray on there, plastic.
Chrome or silver?
It's silver chrome, I guess. It's not chrome, but it's.
Because if it was
silver.
chrome, we'd see your face.
Well, you see the camera. But you can see he's not. You can see kind of how. I don't know if you can really see, but this guy is a big, beefy, chunky chunk of a toy, and it's solid as fuck. But anybody who's touched this thing is transformed, it knows what a god awful mess it is. But just so you can see, just quick.
Smokestack envy for sure.
Yeah, no, they're kind of dinky.
I like the way the yellow blends in with the flames there above the tire, behind the lights.
Yeah, on here. That's all. Yeah, that's all paint. I'm not sure how they did on here. I'm assuming this is. Oh, it's chipping a little bit. It's red paint with the orange on there. But just so you can see, quick, like if you say I have a different one, why would I need it? You can see the paint differences right away, and the details are a lot crisper and everything on this guy. So supposedly, I haven't tried this yet. Actually, I did try it right before the show. But so if you look on his trailer, this hitch, he's got this hole in the middle, and that's for the gun. So you can store the gun like that. And then if you look on the side, you'll notice something that looks kind of familiar. 1 second. Get rid of this. So that's for a MP10 trailer. So the easiest one for me to get at in my display is actually my Evangelion one. So I grabbed that one.
This guy. Oh, my MP10. I'll just grab the $850 one.
The other, well, no. The other one's a riser. So I got like 12 things standing on it. So let me see if I can. So it's a really, really, really tight fit, but there he is with an MP10 trailer.
Nice.
Scaled well. It does, you can use the pivot on the trailer. So, if you wanted to put a G1 trailer on it, you can put an MP10 trailer on there. That ain't for me, but if that's your thing, you can do it.
Yeah, I was so used to seeing this Optimus without it that I was like, the trailer would look kind of weird. Like I know they did it in part 3, but.
And just for a real quick another size comparison, here he is with clamp down. So you can see they're really going for the more modern MP10 scale. there's really not else a ton to say about the vehicle mode. You can see it's actually no that there's one other thing I have to say, but it's a little hollow in the back, but I mean it's not the end of the world. They I don't want to say they cut corners, but they made a lot of sacrifices for vehicle mode. What?
Is it plastic tires or rubber tires?
Plastic tires that are pinned on.
Not
see the pin. See the pin right there. You can see that they're hollow. So it is what it is, but obviously we'd rather have rubber tires. But so they made a lot of sacrifices to make because robot mode is incredibly clean, especially.
You know what they say, Ace? No sacrifice, no victory.
Pretty appropriate.
I'm going to kill them all. So in order to you'll see in robot mode, he's pretty clean. There's not really a lot of kibble on him. So this vehicle mode does take a shit ton of sacrifices to make the robot mode look good. So for example, first of all, the whole thing kind of flexes. And you kind of got to smush it down just to get the wheels to sit flat. And the other big problem is everything that tabs in. So like this tabs into here. There's a bunch of tabs that hold the clip on in here. All this stuff that tabs in. Nothing really, like you can see how much that gives. Nothing really tabs in super great because there's not a lot of mass in the figure. So it's like in order for something to tab in and be solid to each other, there has to be resistance and there has to be something for it to hold on to. But the problem is there's not a lot of mass in here for it to hold on to. So like these will tend to pop out. So you kind of get a finger behind here and push on there, and even then it'll just kind of slowly push its way out. Like this one keeps coming out because there's nothing over here. It's basically hollow in there, so there's nothing for it to push against. So that'll pop out. So that's really see, that didn't even line up. These, if you look in there, I don't know if you can really see, but there's a little gray bit that's supposed to be that's supposed to connect to here to make it look like it's. Let me see if I can. I think it's out as far as it's. Yeah, I'm just pushing it back now. Can I get the other side? Just see real quick. Yeah, see, like, so if you can see right in there, I don't know, it's kind of dark. There's a gray bit. Let me get in the light. See that gray bit right there? It's supposed to extend from here up to here and connect to there. So it looks like the smokestack is actually going someplace, but it doesn't. It just stops right there. I've never been able to get it to actually line up in there. Like these smokestacks don't really peg in. Like see, it's done on armature, but it just really won't stay. So like the biggest problem is there's just not enough mass for it to really hold itself together. And if you look in the front under the windshield, you can see that this is popped up. This is actually a really good pointing device. You can see it's popped up right here.
It's a good spudger.
And there's a hollow bit right there. This is supposed to sit flat up against the hood, but it doesn't.
I think in Mgo's video, like it's like if those pop out, you have to kind of go back a few steps.
Undo the whole thing
to put it back.
So the fix is basically.
Things like this is where it sucks doohickey. It's like
yeah, pretty much. The fix is open up these panels and kind of line everything up and then push everything together and then slam it all back down. But the problem is, in the process of doing that, you bend something out of the way, and then that pops this out or the other side out, and then you have to start all over again. So that's why I kept trying to do it, and I couldn't do it. I was like, screw it. Because like every time you try to do it right, it'll just pop right back out. So I'm like, it's not even worth it. So for 99.9% of people that actually get it and transform it, you're gonna get it like that anyway. So I said, screw it. But
Justin or Jose, you guys having that same problem?
I didn't put them in
I just got mine.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ever going to put them in truck mode. I might just find a die-cast model. Just have that.
It's actually, it's a decent transformation. It's just because there's not a lot of locking points. It's not as fun as it could be.
I'll probably try it once, you know what I'm saying? But I do have my 2007 version in truck mode, so I could kind of be appeased with that, you know.
I mean, leaving this, you'll be perfectly fine leaving this in truck mode. Apparently, I left the batteries in, so you can vroom vroom with it. But I mean, like this thing, you can beat a small child with this and kill them, and it'll be. And this thing won't even take a scratch. Like this thing, when you transform this thing right, this thing is fucking one of the most solid toys I own. But it's but anybody who's transformed that knows what a goddamn nightmare it is.
It's a nightmare.
I mean, the paint on it's gorgeous. We'll get to this in robot mode, but the grill looks really nice. All the silver looks really nice. It's much better than the dull gray of the toy. It's just like these tires can move, so they're never really lined up properly. This whole bit can flex. It's like everything can flex and give a little bit too much.
Yeah.
The whole thing is kind of flexy. It's very, very, very obvious that they sacrificed everything for robot mode.
Perfect.
Which is, I guess, fine in the end, but I would have liked this thing to be more solid. And you got all the chrome in the back, the silver. Focus.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I like that they put the translucent stuff on the headlights. I don't know. I can't tell if they did that in the back there.
No, the back is just paint. Yeah, it's just paint.
It's
focus.
One thing about the movie toys, or even the characters, is technically they're all shell formers, sort of, but they have
because they have to be.
They have found a way to do them right, I would say. And so
I mean, this guy is definitely not a shell former.
Yeah. Definitely not. Yeah, because they found a way to engineer the parts to use them in part of the mode and stuff like that, in the robot mode and stuff. So it's really cool.
Yeah. So it's a little unfortunate that the vehicle mode does suffer.
Speaking of that, is anyone investigated as to whether or not the CAD designs or whatever, not the CAD, but the movie designs were done before the toys, or and they had to make the toys fit in there and figure it out, or does anybody know?
No, the CAD designs were first, and then the toys had to come after.
Wow, so that's pretty cool.
Because Aaron Archer was working on a lot of that stuff.
So they had to figure out how a vehicle vomited into a robot.
Michael Bay said he wanted it to look like an actual car turned into that thing. So, unfortunately, but I mean, it looks decent. It's just once you kind of pick it up and start touching it in places, you're like, ooh, that's spongy. Ooh, that doesn't really feel great. So it's unfortunate, but it's not. What?
I think for a shelf piece, it looks good enough. If you were just gonna have it, or somebody had to, for display in both modes, I think it just works if it's a piece that's gonna be on your shelf. I don't know if a lot of people room their MP figures.
I do. They're cars, then you gotta room them.
But I think it's basically everything I wanted to say for vehicle mode. We also have, so they covered up the windshield with that silver detailing, which is nice. Whereas the original toy,
it was clear, right? On the original
toy had this Mecha Live or whatever crap. And then grill's coming apart. This kind of Mecha Live crap where they had I think it was the chest or something.
Yeah, it had a weird...
when you move the arms and stuff, you would see the gears move and stuff like that.
Will you be transforming that to show us tonight?
Yeah, sure, no problem. What time is it? What time do you guys want to be done? You guys do have all night, right? It's not a fucking chance in holy hell of that. But I mean, it's a good truck mode. It's a good looking truck mode. It's just kind of it fails in the playability, which is unfortunate. And if you can get the grille line, I think the hood section and everything lined up, it would look a lot better. But it is what it is, and it's not worth. So if I squeeze it like that, you can see how the flames and everything line up. So that's kind of how it's supposed to look. But it just pops right back out. Any other questions or anything before we go on?
Go
Let everybody
ahead.
enter at once.
No, I'm good.
We'll be all right.
All right. All right. So it's kind of an exploder. So this all kind of opens up. You can see that's basically the lower half, and this is basically the upper half. It's all good.
Q chunk from
It's like
Goonies.
it's like a no, it's like a mask vehicle. You open this up, and the speedboat comes out or whatever.
That's a good idea.
Well, I'll take my beat to hell Rhino over this any day. I mean, I'm sure it's a good toy, but I like my Rhino. I passed on all the movie toys.
So I take it you're not a Bayformers fan, JD.
No, not at all.
So that's how tall he's got to be. No.
Look at those legs.
God damn.
Legs.
He's like straight out of a Salvador Dali painting.
So you can see this. Cool. This all comes up. That little bit folds away. This comes down. This has to open. Hold on. I got to try to remember how to do this. This goes in there. But what am I doing wrong? This is on the double hinge, and that's got to be all the way out. There we go. That all pegs in. This has got to go. Did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong already?
Uh-oh.
Which way does this go? Ah, crap. Does this come out?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's why I would not even dare attempt to transform mine live. No way.
Does that? Why can't I remember which way that goes? Does that just sit?
The red piece tucks behind the blue piece. It looks like.
Red piece.
The leg
Why
bone's
can't I remember?
connected to the hip bone.
Hang on, we'll get this. We'll just do the rest of the foot real quick. This comes down. This comes up. That goes down. This has got all pegged together. This goes. Which one?
See, fucking Michael Bay making shit too complicated for its own good.
There we go. I just wasn't pushing. I just wasn't pushing hard enough.
We don't have that. We don't have that type of trouble with MP10, you know.
Nope.
This goes.
It's good old 80s design.
That just sits like that. Okay, so that's one leg done. So this opens up. This unpegs. From there, it folds away. This should all peg in. In robot mode, the stuff that pegs in very well.
Oh, I love the bot mode on this thing, just the look of it. That's what you get there. Real clean.
So this,
Yeah, I'm glad that's how it came, so I could see it in bot mode today.
Yeah. You would have waited to transform.
Yeah, I would have waited till the weekend.
Yeah.
this comes. Which way do the wheels go?
Wait till the weekend.
Wheels come
Get 8 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Down a couple of Guinness.
Okay.
I saw your house in that Guinness.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, man.
So arms.
Ed F in the chat, he says, so the Takara version has different grays and blue paint above the foot, right? So I'm not sure. I didn't see any pics of the Takara version, so I can't speak.
I thought this is a joint Takara Hasbro piece.
Yeah.
Under the impression that it's a joint venture between Takara and Hasbro, and I was assuming Takara was handling the actual figure and Hasbro handling the packaging.
Takara
The packaging
always.
was nothing to bring home
I've
about.
said it before and I'll say it again. Only Takara engineers Transformers. Hasbro does not engineer Transformers at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, I didn't think there was going to be any
None.
differences since it was a joint venture.
All of the CAD work, all of the actual designing, everything is that's Takara. Every figure, every Transformer that's ever existed.
Hasbro named him Optimus Prime.
Yes, they did. That was actually one of the only names that was predetermined. So this has got arms have got a split. Oh my god, that all comes out. So this is, like I said, kind of explodey. This flips out. This is going to be the back. This comes up.
You sure Bad Cube didn't design this?
It's Bad Cube-esque. It is definitely Bad Cube-esque. This comes up. This comes up. It's going to be hard to get a lot of this in frame, so it's kind of going to come together. This is all going to be on the back. This has got to go. No, this has got to come up. So this is going to peg in, which I think it just did. The grill piece comes up.
I remember transforming that Revenge of the Fallen Prime for the first time, and it kept talking. Is that a thing? So every time you're trying to transform it, it kept talking.
I am Optimus Prime. I am Optimus Prime.
Yes, we know. Thank you.
I am Optimus Prime.
Oh, you know what? Maybe the last night was a
throwback.
To that, because like that's all he kept saying during the movie. I am Optimus Prime. Didn't you forget who I was?
Did you forget who I am Optimus Prime. I am Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime.
I just feel like they should tab a little better, but ready? These. Oh, this is going to tab in better. There we go. These go back, I think, like that. All right. Hold on, which way are these? I just got to remember how these go. Is it like that? No, it's got to come out first. I think they go. Oops, this has got to come up. It's a little bit of an involved transformation, so it's going to take me a couple minutes.
2 hours later.
Couple.
He's doing it a lot faster than I ever would. Shit.
These snake through here, and we'll peg into there, and these fold away. This kind of goes wherever. Same thing on this side. This underneath that folds away. That pegs in there. That goes in there. That all good squeeze.
Dust in the chat is asking if it's broken yet.
We can't tell.
Come up. So these bit of business. So there's a peg here. There's 2 peg holes here, and there's a slot on the insides of these. You can't see a slot right there. Peg in there, but it's one of those more like it's a guide kind of deals. And then
mine don't stay in.
Yeah, they don't stay in with the damn. You can really put these any way you want. I kind of just hide them. They're on a series of swivels. I guess we'll go like that. That's fine.
Craig Robbins in the chat is asking if it's a piece of shit. You know, I guess we'll hear that in the final thoughts.
There's that. This comes up, down and around. I feel like this is supposed to move. No, don't. One that's supposed to go or in. It doesn't matter. All right, we're done.
Yay!
There he is.
Look at that. Fucking
There he is in robot mode.
Looks good. Like I could understand if people don't like the movie designs, but I think for like for how complicated those designs like looked, like they pulled it off here. I feel.
Yeah, me too.
Very good job.
All right, so let's. I think that's all right. Pretty sure. I'm sure someone will correct us, but move these out of the way. The wheels can kind of move up. Let's run through articulation real quick, and then we'll talk about them. So head is on a hinge swivel. He kind of starts bumping into stuff, so you kind of gotta. It's so like the back here, which you can't really see, starts hitting into stuff. So that's what the limiting range is. So he gets pretty much that side to side. Up, he can look up really well, but you literally break his neck. There's a gimmick in the head, which we'll get to, but I mean up to like maybe like there, it looks fine. and then after that, it starts looking disgusting.
It's a Pez dispenser.
Damn it! Stop ruining everything. So the head is fairly limited. Who wants peppermint?
You know what? I didn't even put that together. Like, I'm slow.
So the shoulders. So they peg in with friction. Like I'm pulling on them, and they're not coming off. But I mean, if I pull on them, they'll come off. You know, if I just kind of gently tug, they're fine. But if you give them a good pull, they come right out. So they don't lock in that great. I'm not a big fan of the way the shoulders connect in general, like whenever they do that. But it is what it is. So we got a clicky ratchet, really nice clicky ratchet all the way around.
Yep. I like
A friction out. If you don't move anything, it'll go to there. This can bend out of the way. This bit right here is on a hinge, I guess a double hinge technically. So it's on a rotational swivel there, and then an up and down hinge in there. It can go up and down, and it can go around like that. So that can kind of get out of the way and get you some more range. So we can go out to there if you move stuff around.
Hey guys.
Which is good.
Just waving.
Single jointed elbow, which gets you well past 90 degrees, which is nice. It doesn't really destroy the sculpt too bad. There's kind of a filler piece right here, but once you get past 90, it kind of goes away. But it's not that. That looks pretty good. Bicep swivel under this blue piece, so that's good. Wrists rotate on a swivel. It's not a mushroom. Actually, it is. It's probably a mushroom peg. There's a screw there. It probably clamps around a mushroom peg. That'd be my guess. Fingers, they fing. So the thumb is on a single hinge, so you can do a thumbs up. But it's not on a outward hinge, and it's only got the one base knuckle. So it's only basically up or down like that. The index finger, the rest of it is kind of standard masterpiece. So the index finger is on a separate joint, and it can point straight, but it's got that kind of, the crooked stank finger. Where it's only got the one knuckle, the base knuckle, and the one knuckle doesn't have this second knuckle. So it's always, it's always got that stanky crook in it. And then the bottom three are flipper style. So there's no just a base pin knuckle. There's no individual hinges there.
I like that I like that they put the pin in the forefinger, like they didn't do with the MP10. So at least you don't have to worry about that popping off.
Yeah. You can also bend his wrist totally in like that. That's mostly for the blades, which we'll get to. But if you need it, you can fold them 90 degrees straight in. And there's a couple of. It's actually ratcheted, so there's 3 or 4 stops, 3 or 4 clicks. So if you wanted to, you can do that. Waists, there is a waist swivel, but it's extremely hindered. Like you're only getting you got a waist wiggle. It's not really a waist joint, so that's a little unfortunate. But it's kind of hitting this piece, and it doesn't feel like a good joint. Legs. The legs are actually pretty good. So the legs, friction out, except for the friction out. So they friction out to the full Van Damme, maybe a little beyond.
Look at that.
But there's a decent amount. There's a decent amount of die cast in the leg. So it's one of those. If you pose it and get it where you want it, it's fine. And then once you start messing with it, it'll droop.
Okay.
So like if you support it, get it where you want it, it should be okay. And then once you're like and so not really sure why they didn't ratchet that, because the forward is ratcheted, so you can kick straight out, and you can go back if you move some of this stuff out of the way to there. The back's a little limited, but that's okay. Front more important than back anyway, and it'll hold. If you, it's actually pretty. I thought that was actually going to droop, but that's actually better than I thought it was. So yeah, that ratchet's holding pretty well. It's just the outward. For some reason, I don't know why they didn't ratchet that. That's unfortunate.
See, now, do you think that they don't put the ratchets in the side because, like, you think it might hinder some posing options? Like just in case like
I'm
the
assuming
ratchets are too far apart.
I'm assuming it's they couldn't get the teeth close enough for the transformation. But I mean, for the transformation, they just got to go straight out like that. So I don't know. I'm sure it's got something to do with what's in there. I'm sure it's got something to do with the transformation, but it's not apparent immediately apparent. So that is unfortunate. But no thigh swivel.
Wow.
Double bended knee, which will get you well past 90 degrees. That's actually a really good knee.
Really? No thigh swivel? That's odd.
No, you get it's kind of above the knee. You do get
Yeah, well, there's like an above the knee swivel. So right where this gray piece meets this silver piece. So this silver piece is like a sleeve, and this gray piece goes up in it, and that's where the swivel is.
Yeah.
So it's more like an above the knee swivel.
Yeah.
There actually is a decent amount of molding, like even on the back, which is nice. But really good ratcheted knee. Gets you well past 90. And what's weird is, so this joint here is ratcheted, but the lower joint is friction. So if you're just going to move one, move the ratcheted one. But to get that little extra range, you have the friction joint. These little knee panels are on a swivel, so they can get out of the way. And then the feet, forward all the way to there. Really just for transformation, but it helps.
It's pointing those toes.
Up, he really doesn't get much. Like, so that's basically stock straight, and that's all the up he gets. And then tilt, this piece kind of gets in the way, this red piece, but it also bends. You can see that it kind of bends out of the way. I don't think there's any way to move this. It doesn't feel like there is. Maybe there is, and I just don't see it, but it will flex out of the way, so you can get tilt to there. So that's decent. Also, these tires, so these can go up to there, and then this one it clicks to there if you want it that way. It's very, 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 very slight, but it'll pull away from the body a little bit. But it's really the upper tires that kind of sit more on his hips.
Ace, Lionel Medina in the chat, he's asking, how would you protect the paint on the bottom of the feet?
Oh yeah, that's another thing. So
even in truck mode.
Yeah, so so the base of the feet is actually the grill of the truck. So it's right here, and this is all painted. What I'm thinking about doing is just taking some clear coat acrylic and just give it a quick once over. That would be that'd probably be the quickest and dirtiest way to do it. But it's weird that they would put the painted bits on the bottom without clear coating them. But for whatever reason, they did. So that is something you have to watch out for, unfortunately. It's really not a big deal if you don't move your figures around a lot. Like if you're gonna, bash them around on, I don't know, fucking stucco or concrete tables, then yeah, it's gonna be a problem. But for the most part, if you're putting it on glass or anything like that, I wouldn't worry. Wood maybe, but again, as long as you're not, like grabbing them and sliding them on his feet, you should be fine.
Yeah, I've been very careful with like picking them up, placing them, posing them, and like no issues so far. So I don't think most people have a problem unless you do like what Ace was saying, like scrape it across.
Yeah, if you put downward force on it on a surface, that's bad. But as long as you don't do that, you should be all right. All right, so he's got some gimmicks. Let's go through some of the gimmicks real quick. So we'll start with the head. Let's see if it'll focus. Yeah, that's decently focused. So that's the face he comes with. Is that focused okay?
Yeah.
Yep. See.
Okay.
What do you guys think of that? I don't
like
know,
it.
Man. You do?
Decent.
It's movie prime. That's what it is.
That's what you look like.
I don't know. I just feel like other ones look better. Other figures. But I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
If you lift up on the head, and then isn't this supposed to come out more? Yeah, this lift up on this part. You can see there's a big fat pin in there. Is what you can do as his feet are sliding around. You can rotate it around and then push it back down, and then you have his stupid unmasked face, which I never liked. But
Give me my face.
if you want your Optimus Prime to have lips, you can do the unmouth plated face, which is neat. I like it when they do if they're gonna do a face swapping gimmick. I like it when they keep it contained inside the figure.
Rather
you do
than having an
sacrifice.
extra piece.
Yeah, you do sacrifice something. You have that hideous bit, but I don't know. I think I would have preferred swappable faces without that, just to not have that. But I guess it's it's fine for what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. It's a nice little gimmick.
They've done swappable faces even on MPs before. MP3 had it. Okay, so another gimmick we get if we open this stuff up, open up these red bits, and then pull down on this piece, which is actually die cast, which is apparently harder than I thought. And then we go into there and pull down on this piece and open it up as it flopped out. Might have to actually. It's a tight fit. I might actually have to pull these pieces out to make it easier.
Yeah.
At least to get
It actually is.
Back in.
Oh yeah, there you go. I was like, it is a little tight when if you just do leave them inside. They don't leave you a lot of room to work.
Inside there is a little movie matrix. This is plastic. I thought it was die cast. I do not believe it is. Let's see if it'll. It's very tiny. It's very. Again, it's one of those things. It's movie aesthetic. It is what it is. It's nice that they included it as an homage. If that's your thing.
Does it have Does it have the blue gem in the middle?
It has nothing in it. It's just a solid piece of. Is it? It might be die cast.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I think it is die cast, but I don't think it's solid die cast. They might have rotocast it.
Roto?
Rotocast is when you take a mold, like a solid mold, and you kind of coat the inside. You make sure it's all coated, and then you pour out the excess, so it's hollow in the middle.
Oh.
That's rotocast.
So it's like got die-cast waffles.
It kind of. You could think of it like that because it doesn't.
That 3 cents.
Just when you thought they couldn't fit any more waffles in.
I think it feels like die-cast, but it's not hot. It doesn't feel heavy enough. But so that's a thing. If that's your thing, it's included. It just slots in to that piece in here. It's very tight. I don't think it matters which way you do it, but of course it doesn't want to peg in that way.
I think it fits either way. I like that they incorporated it though, since this figure is supposed to be based off the first original movie, so
There we go.
it's cool that they added it.
So this is gonna all tuck back in. Go. Not for nothing, these bits are actually pegging on. These red bits usually flop around on mine, but it's actually pegging in pretty well now. I guess I transformed it better than I thought. Also, these bits, I forgot to mention this articulation. These, I don't know what the hell they are. What are they? Like window visor pieces? They're on a double swivel, so the swivel down there and a swivel on there, so you can go up and down, and then the actual silver bit can swivel too. It's just a very tight joint. So if you want to give them booby eyebrows, you can mess with those.
I think that's called a wind vane.
Okay, it's a wind vane.
Yeah.
His weapons. So his gun, as I mentioned before, is fine-ish. It's very cheap feeling, unfortunately. It's one of the weakest parts of this figure. But you can open it up. Typical masterpiece slot. This slot is for storage. These pegs are for holding. Slots on. You can do it by feel. Should probably look at what I'm doing, but wrap it around. That's him holding it.
Pew 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 pew.
So if that's your thing, honestly, I think this gun is stupid. I never liked this gun design. But if you want him to have a gun, he can have a gun. If you don't want him to have a gun, you can use the same storage as vehicle mode. You'll see the trailer hitch right there, and you can just slot it in there. And it looks kind of ridiculous. And he's kind of got a robo. He's kind of got a peen sticking out, but
I'm taking a robo dump.
it's storage, so it's at least it's there.
You can't put it around the other way.
I think it can, but it's even more obnoxious. Because then you got it sticking up and away.
Okay.
So then you really can't have anything behind it. So it looks better from.
Nice.
It looks way better from the front, but it's obnoxious from the back.
I don't know if it's that flat.
It's on. You can see it's on an angle.
Oh,
and that's flat. So no matter which way you do it, you're going to be on an angle. It's just that's a less obtrusive angle.
I wish they would have found a way to incorporate the gun like into the hand, like they did with the Bumblebee figure. Like I could have sworn, like I don't remember him holding it. I thought like the cannon. Yeah, I thought the cannon was part of his arm. You know, like it just.
I thought so too, man. That's what I remember.
I would have liked it if they would have done more like the Bumblebee design.
They didn't do that this time, so it is what it is. So this has got to go this way. Okay, so they're kind of keyed. See, there's like an L shape, so you want that one on this side, I believe, because you want the silver up, and that makes it look like it's coming out of the forearm. And then you can either leave the fist like that, which I think looks stupid, or you can just kind of fold it back like that, which I think looks better. You can, if you pose it properly, you weren't going to see it anyway. And I think that just looks a little bit better. So you can put one on each side, like that, and then you can give him his arm swords. Which I think it's better they did it that way than like this guy, where they just flip out and they make the arms ridiculous. So I think that's a nicer looking option.
I wish you would have made the hands fold into the forearm though.
Yeah, that would have been tuck away like a regular MP figure would, but it's not the worst thing. Just imagine them trying to fit this in that. Fucking blade would stick out like that. It'd be ridiculous. So at least he's got good sized blades, and they don't look ridiculous in fucking vehicle mode. So that's him with his blades. Let's do size comparisons, some other comparisons real quick. There he is. What do I got? First of all, here he is with his buddy B. So you can kind of see the way they look together. I think they scale well together. I think they look good together if that's a look you want.
Bumblebee, old friend. So
to be honest, the only real reason I bought him was because he was so good that I thought, maybe they would continue it, but he's good. He's just not. He's not on. If you can only get one, or if you only care about, if you want to get one, B is a much better toy. It's a much better figure. I also got. There he is with MP10. So horn to horn, I'd say he's an eighth of an inch taller. Maybe, if that. So if you want them next to each other for whatever reason, that's what they look like together. And then because they're down here he is with an MP car. You can kind of see similar size to B.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because he's here he is. This guy needs ratcheted hips too, which is annoying that he doesn't. Here he is with Lavender Wave. Can't see the size. But so yeah, so overall, just kind of messing with him. He's not as fun to mess with because he is more because of the ridiculous transformation they kind of have to go for. These bits you can kind of finagle. You can always kind of get in the way. They never stupid things never. They don't tab. They just it's just a guide. I wish these actually locked, but they don't.
No.
Unfortunate, but so unfortunately, he's not like just picking up a mess with him because there's so many kind of bits all around. It's not even so much kibble because the only real kibble is these bits on the back, like everything they're connected to. Everything else, like all this stuff, all these panels are technically not kibble because they're accurate to the design.
Yeah, yeah. He's super clean compared to the prior version.
It's the most clean version of this Prime we've ever gotten. But even just because of the design, like all these bits, the Windows bits, everything kind of fights you a little bit. So it's like you'll move something and then something else will kind of get out of whack. The outward hips kind of suck. You got to kind of worry about the feet scratching. The head is real limited. The shoulders are nice, and the knees are nice, and there's elements that are nice. It's just if they would have, I feel like they went like 92% of the way there, whereas B they kind of went 100%. So it's almost there. It's just not. He's not fantastic. It's just not as fun to mess with. It's not as fun to pose. Like the feet, I can never get the feet because of the grill bits. I don't know if you can see, but they're not perfectly flat. Like there's the bumps and everything. It kind of doesn't keep them perfectly flat, so they're always kind of off the ground a little bit. So it always looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
These side bits are a little bit annoying.
To lean one way or the other.
I mean these bits fold for transformation, so you can kind of like push them down, but they don't fold down. They fold up towards him, not down away from him. So you can't push them down towards the floor. Like, it's almost there. The paint is really good. The paint is really nice. There's really no hollow bits. There's no. Oh, also, I didn't mention it, but I believe he has the same thing. Yes. So there's no way in holy hell this is going to support him, but he does have a flight stand peg. So if you wanted to, like, have him leaning a certain way or something, you can use that for support.
Oh yeah, right underneath.
Like right now, the stand is actually not touching the bottom.
Where do you have it plugged in, Ace? Let me see. You got it plugged in.
If you look in his butthole below the screw.
Yeah. Okay.
Whenever you see, as a point of reference, whenever you see a hexagonal hole like that, it's not round; it's hexagonal. That's usually a flight stand peg because it's like if it was round, it would just kind of spin, but the hexagonal kind of grips it better and it's a stronger connection.
All right, sweet. I'll try again.
This ain't gonna hold them. Tell you that right now.
Yeah, I'm sure if you have a bigger, stronger stage.
I'm sure if you have the Takaro versions of those stands. Oh, excuse me. I'm sure if you have the Takaro version, because that's like a solid piece, like a chunk. That'll probably hold them. But I mean, apparently he didn't fly until apparently Age of Extinction. He had rocket boots, which nobody knew about. But it's good for if you just need to support him in a pose or something. But I mean, they went kind of the extra mile. There's piston details all up in the back of his arms, that you don't really see. There's details all in the back of the legs that's just for robot mode. There's paint on the insides of the knees. There's a good amount of detail. There's a good amount of paint. It's like they almost were there, and then they forgot about like the posability and the playability. But he's good. He's just not. He's not on the same level as B, in my opinion. But he's decent. He does not have. No, he doesn't have an app crunch. Why would he? The only die cast I believe is I think that Matrix is die cast, but if it is, it's very, very thin. This chest piece inside the Abdomon, was it Abdomon piece is die cast. The feet are die cast, and I think these bits in here are die cast. So there is some die cast. It's fairly hefty. Let me pick up the I think the MP is actually heavier. So if you have the Revenge of the Fallen, I think the MP is actually heavier. But I mean,
back to that Matrix. If they would have given you a dirty ass sock and some metal chips, I'd have been sold. Sorry,
you can make your own.
this is true, yeah. But I want Witwicky's dirty ass sock.
Shout out to Crashbox Customs. I'm sure they can whip you up one.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but when he took his sock off and then I noticed he was running around that whole movie, I know that he had some fucking killer blisters.
Oh,
I think you're gonna say some stinky. I think you're gonna say some stinky feet.
Oh.
But I mean, the transformation on this guy is actually decent. It's just this, like I said before, there's not enough mass in him to really have everything pegged together super solid. So like the vehicle mode does suffer. But I mean, it does look pretty good in robot mode. It is fairly playable. It's just not to the same level, I don't think, as this guy. I think this guy is phenomenal. Like, this guy is pretty good. But I think I'm done rambling. Any other questions? Anything else you guys want to know?
That's it.
Should you get it?
Oh my God, what?
Chat real quick, just in case.
Should you get it?
That's a good question.
I would say it's worth it.
If you can only get one, if you only want one figure from the movie line, like you just want like a misfit shelf or whatever, you just want some representation of something from the movie. Based on these, I would say get B. If you want a movie prime, in MP scale, he looks really good. I think he looks better and plays better than any of the official ones. And I'm assuming since all the KOs, I haven't messed with any of the KOs, but I'm assuming since the KOs are just based off the Hasbro stuff, the official regular mainline toys. No, I would say he's worth it. If you don't give two shits about the movies and you just want good toys, like I said, B is worth it. But then I don't think he's worth it. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. It's a good toy. It's just not a phenomenal toy. It's just not a great toy. As opposed to B, who's a great toy.
Yeah.
So
I'd say if you're a fan of the Bayverse designs, I'd say definitely, because I think it is a good toy overall. It has its little missteps, but I think it's the best movie prime that's out there to date. So
yes, by far, it's the best. It's the best movie prime by far.
And I think like if you're into toy photography and stuff like that, you're going to be posing them up, get some action poses out of him. He's good for those purposes as well. So, I'm the type of person, I don't really play too much. That's what I'll do. Really just take some pictures, put them on the shelf. So I think he looks great for that purpose.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to flip him, if you're the one to flip stuff back and forth, it's not really that fun to flip back and forth. It's more of a hassle. But I mean, on a shelf, if you want a movie representation, should you get that or should you get, either this or one of the KOs or anything like that? I would get him. The finish and the paint and everything else. Like, you just see how much he's actually shining too much for the camera. It's actually sparkling on the camera. But if you want that, it's worth it. If you're on the fence,
Loan's pretty good.
Yeah, if you're on the fence and you don't give a shit about the movie designs and you don't want any kind of representation and you don't care, then I don't think it's worth it. But if you fit one of the other criteria, it's not a bad toy. It's just not. It's just not.
Christ, enough.
Really, you got to come in the last second and try to fucking ham it up?
No, I just want to go to bed.
All right, so good.
I figured you were sleeping the whole time.
All right, so
Me and 8 other viewers.
you guys want to run down the chat?
I have.
You got it, Brian? I got the list ready.
Yeah, I haven't been doing my duty, so
Wow.
All right, so
I'm slacking. That's
We
why I
had,
invited you tonight, Jose. I didn't feel like doing.
no problem. Yeah, Super Dimensional actually mentioned earlier. It's like Brink, act interested. It's Optimus Prime.
Okay, so in light of that, basically the problem I'm having is I think I And I know that Mr. Super Dimensional doesn't want to hear this, but I'm still just a little disappointed in that thing I saw in June.
The thing.
I'll get over it. Yeah.
All right, we had a KJ Smith in the chat. Primacon, Agent H was up in there. Ed F, Soundwave Will, Lord Shadowkeeper, Eric Tron, Lionel Medina, Dust was in the chat. Craig Robbins, Dark Ace 74, Super Dimensional Big Dom, and Pinkerton. Thanks for popping in, guys.
Okay. So let's do. We'll do some where you at, Brian.
Brian Brink in the Facebook groups and Brinkalizer on Instagram, and that's it.
JD.
JD Brocious in the Facebook groups, Pigment Surgery on Instagram, Xbox Live, and here on Fingerbagging Tuesdays on the Hangout.
Jose.
What's up, guys? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Harrican BX. And every Tuesday night, helping to host out the ROC Hangouts, 8 p.m. every Tuesday on this channel. Night, guys.
Justin.
You can catch me on Facebook, Justin L. All the usual spots. You'll catch me on Figure Banging fairly often as well.
Will we?
Probably. I just kind of show up.
Just
like a bad rash.
Yep.
Just
Never goes away.
Where else can they find you, man?
Oh yeah, you can find me on I got a new podcast with some friends of mine. It's called Totally Knocked Off Podcast. You can find it where you usually look for podcasts, like iTunes and Podbean. If you like listening to me talk as much as I do, check it out.
Dust is Dust Mites on Instagram. Cover a lot of music, all that stuff. You guys should know by now. I am Ace Milo. At Ace Milo, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Check out all the other Cool Table Network shows. You guys should know what they are. If not, just go check out the Facebook group, Cool Table Network page. You'll find them all. So shout out to all those other shows. I think that's about going to do it for us tonight.
One more thing. We got rock boxes for sale.
Thank you. So rock boxes. If you are coming to NJCC, listen to me, TFCon DC 2017, and you would like to support us and pick up a rock pack, www.realmcollectors.com for the link. You can pick it up. It comes with a T-shirt. When you order online, you're securing your size, and you're also getting 2 tickets to enter our $100 Agabus giveaway, which will be given away at the show, most likely on the Saturday. So if you pre-order, you get your size locked in, and you get 2 entries to the raffle. If you want and you can't show up and you can't make it to the show, hit up somebody. They should be able to get it shipped to you. So if you come to DC or if you just want to help us out, check that out, realmcollectors.com for all the info for that. And that's not going to do it for us tonight. Thanks everybody for coming out to the chat. Thanks for everybody watching live. Thanks for everybody watching after the fact. Thank you to JD, Jose, and Justin L for coming in last minute.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Like, subscribe, and share, guys.
Yes,
subscribe,
share.
Agent Kid Matt did not show up, as we suspected. Surprise,
Fired.
surprise.
Fired.
He's selling the car.
I would say he's fired, but he's not watching this anyway. So, all right, that's gonna do it for us tonight. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you guys next time with the next mystery figure.
Thanks, everybody.